Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to get through the very hard story mode. This is aimed at players that are having difficulty actually fighting the monsters to get to, get to the boss. Like a lot of players I've talked to lately have said that it's really difficult to get through these guys. Like they do too much damage. It's hard to run back. They're always following me, and so on and so on. So, hopefully these tips and tricks helps you to get through the stage. So I'm first of all going to show you the team that I'm going to use. This is actually a subpar team. Now, if you think that the team that I'm using is like I have insane equipment on them or something, let me show you the team, like the equipment I'm using, and then I'm going to show you the potential at the end to say that you don't actually need to invest heavily in these guys. And there's also different options you can use as well. So these are the 4 guys I'm using. As you can see, the equipments are not crazy. I have 1 plus 15 weapon. I think most people should by this time, like, when you're doing like very hard, hopefully you have a plus 15 weapon. And you should have like, plus 0 legendary gears for everyone else. And then I'm going to show you the potential as well to say that Shay has some investment because I've been using her for a lot, but you don't, hopefully, most people have some investment in Shay by now because she is just good everywhere else. But the other guys don't have anything. You can see 0, 0, and then here she has 3. So first of all, I wanted to show you that, if you're using particular heroes to mimic the strategy, you don't actually need to put like crazy investment in them. These guys are level 40, and like if you have the shards in some of these guys, it's not a bad idea to level them up because you're going to get codex stats from it anyway. So, it's not a bad idea to get these guys to level 40. And I'm going to do the very hard chapter 10, the stage where Tristan is, with this team. And again, I'm using subpar units. Like you can use, so let me explain the strategy and then I'll explain the kind of units that you can use, right? So basically the idea is to use Shay's ultimate to reduce the ultimate skill gauge of all allies and use other ultimates that have stun effects. So hers is a good example because it has a 40% chance to stun everybody in like a meteor region. She also has a chance to shock everyone, but there are other units that you can use this as well. Spike is actually one of the best ones for this because his ultimate continuously keeps casting this freeze effect. So even if you miss like 140% chance, you'll keep doing it. It's similar to hers actually. I think the meteor continuously keeps stunning people. So if you miss the first stun, you can continuously keep on doing it. She is very good as well because she has a 40% chance to shock everyone. She also has other effects that shock targets as well. So it's actually a good all-around unit to use for the strategy. And there is one more, which a lot of people really don't like, but she is also capable to do the strategy as well. She has a 40% chance of paralyzing everybody within, like, within ranges. Within a 6 meter wide circular range. There are also some blue units that you can take care of the strategy as well, like Neo. There's one thing that you should pay attention to. It says that, for example, in this wording, it says 36% chance of paralyzing the target. I find that even with the wording of the target, it's usually all the targets included in the range mentioned before. So that's what I find anyway. Like it usually just says 40% chance of stunning the target. But I find that it usually actually is the entire range. So you can test that out for yourself as well to make sure it is the range. But I did test it out for Len and her, and it worked well. I'm using Cade as a tank for this strategy. You can use better tanks, but I find that Cade is an all-around good tank specifically for this because of his passive, which lets him be basically immortal for 10 seconds, right? And why this is good is because in the very beginning, when you're starting with the strategy, you might die before Shay gets 100% HP, right? So by using this strategy, you're at least alive for 10 seconds, and she'll probably get 100% ultimate charged up before, before before the 10 seconds are up. So he's a very good idea to use for this strategy. So I'm actually going to show you some other things within this as well, but this is one of the main strategies here. And then I'm going to give you some other tips as we're going along, what else we can do. But this is the main strategy. I want you to kind of pay attention to that. And I want to get that out of the way because that's a lot to explain while I'm actually fighting. And I might die if I'm not being careful. So the first thing you want to do is set this ultimate to off so that you can chain these things. And you also want to have everybody focus on one unit at a time. These are all tanks, so it doesn't really matter who you're focusing on, but if you have some DPS, you want to attack the DPS first. I don't know why he did that, but okay. Like I don't know why sometimes Cade just runs off a little bit to the side there. I've noticed that happening. Maybe these guys have like a fear effect or something. I'm not sure, but anyway, here we go. So we're gonna start the stunning. All right, and then I typically wait for the for them to get off stun before I use the second one. Okay, and then usually within then there's time for the next, like usually by the time the second stun goes off, Shay is ready to cast her ultimate again, so I can basically keep looping that. All right. As you can see, it stunned like 3 people. Although the wording said it's only 1 unit, but 3 of them are stunned, right? It says the target, but I'm pretty sure it's more than just the target. And then the other thing that you want to do is when these guys are almost dead, you kind of just want their ultimate to, like you just want Shay's ultimate to be fully recharged in time to attack the next group of enemies. And then, well, let me kill the 2 rangers first in the next group, and then we'll talk about something else you can do if you're having trouble. So you want to kind of run back a little bit to reset everybody, and people aren't caught in a weird position. So again, we're going to start this thing, and then I'm going to kill the 2 rangers. And once I've done that, I'm going to show you something else. The rangers typically are a lot easier to kill because they have, much less HP. As you can see, you can like pretty much almost continuously just CC them. So it's a very easy thing to do. Like, once you've got a setup like this, and once Shay gets her first 100% off, you can easily keep kind of repeating this. Something else I should mention. You should use skill upset on Shay. I'm not using skill upset purposefully because I have a +3 arena belt that other people might not have access to. So I purposefully did not use a +3 skill upset. But if you're doing this strategy, you should. Okay, now I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to run back, and I'm actually going to let Cade die here because I want to show you something. So assuming your run goes badly, or you're still dying or something. Okay, apparently he takes some time to die, so I'm just going to run around like this for a little bit. And he doesn't actually need to die for this. He can just okay, there we go. So he's dead. So now what you can do, if something like that happens, if your tank or your healer or somebody is dead, you can run all the way back to the Obelix, right? And actually, I should have used my pet skill as well, but hopefully you can just take my word for it. You go to the Obelix, you turn off auto, you go to set team, and you remove whoever died, right? And you make sure it loads, so it's finished loading, and then you go back and add him back. Had some difficulty clicking the button there, but there you go, and now he's back at full health, right? And I'm going to show you the same thing with Shay as well, because her HP is down a bit. So you can remove her HP. You can remove her there. Make sure you load it into the screen, otherwise it's not going to work. Then you go back and add her back, and there you go. Now she's at full HP again. So you can, that's like one easy way to just reset it, and you don't actually reset the stage itself. You're just resetting your progress. So I think it's really nice. Make sure you turn auto back on when you're going back in. I think that's a very useful tip to do this. So if you're having a lot of trouble even with the strategy, you can easily use what I just said to your advantage. And then again, you're starting this whole thing up. And yeah, like if you go back to the Obelix, take them out of the party, put them back in, everything resets. So all their skills cool down, all their, everything is reset. So it's a really nice way of getting like a second chance at this, basically. like my len died, so it might actually be a good idea to reset this, right? So I can like, you know, I can keep using this and easily uh, much more easily complete uh, like very hard stages, because they do have, you know, they do spawn a lot at a time, and sometimes it is a bit difficult to defeat them. So hopefully these two tips and tricks helps you to get through that. So I'm going to go back and reset again. Oh, and it also works with the pet skill as well, by the way. So as you can see, my pet skill is on cooldown. All I have to do is remove the pet. So I put a different pet in, and then I let it load, and then I go back. Oh, geez. Why did they run back? Okay. There we go. Run back, run back. I guess they were auto running and I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, you can see that the pet skill has also reset when I go here. Turn off auto, go to set, and then I can put Shay back in, and her cooldown has completely reset. And I want to do that for these two as well that died. And there we go. Right? So I hope these two tricks really help you guys to get through the story stage. I mean, it makes it so much easier. And you don't need like insane units to do this. You don't need the latest tank. You can use Cade for it. You also don't need to give a lot of investment to these guys as well. It's not like if you want to use her suddenly you have to increase her potential like 999. You don't need to do that. At 0 it will work as well. I specifically chose to use her and not Spike because I actually have high investment on Spike, and you might be tempted to think, hey, you know, I really need to get these guys' investment up to take advantage of this. That's not true at all. You can do this with like, you know, garbage garbage potentials, right? So that's it for me for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have other questions or comments on how this works, leave me a comment below and I will do my best to help you guys out. Anyway, I hope to see you guys next time. Take care now.